All right, episode 202, the franchise, probably 203.
Yes.
Great,
yes.
great,
Good.
great.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what do we got? It's the D Grain here, Daniel Ehrenberg, joined by Henry Papali in New Jersey. We're still talking about the Children of the Corn. As I said on Twitter, I've developed Stockholm Syndrome. That's right.
Yeah.
I
that's
feel
good.
compelled
That's
by
good.
these movies now. I have a lot to say about these two. The franchise is going off in some interesting directions, mostly by force of sheer stupidity and incompetence, but it's still
Yes.
interesting.
It's going off in a lot of different directions. I can't say that I think they are interesting directions, but they are directions.
I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
These are some fascinating directions. These are exactly the sorts of new directions that I was thinking of when we launched this podcast.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, everybody, lend us your ears.
Of Corn.
Am I
Great.
Am I right? Thank
Mhm.
you. Thank you. So, episode 203, I am H Stock. It's D Grain, and welcoming back to the show for the first time in 3 years, your crank specialist. Dan, do you want to introduce him?
Here he is, Big Eye himself, Isaac Lopez. Welcome to the show.
What's up? Thank you. I figured that, when I was a teenager, like those would probably be the years where I'd be introduced as a crank specialist. But,
Hey, are you kidding me? We're in the middle of a pandemic. I've become quite the crank specialist.
this is true. I'm just glad that I've made a big enough splash that it's taken me 3 years to get back on the pod. So,
I'll tell you, it's
very
not
much.
that nobody has ever requested this. This I've heard your name come up. People like the crank episode, primarily because I gave High Voltage 5 stars, but I stand by that grade 3 years later.
I remember, like Henry damn well nearly walked off the pod for good.
Isaac, we recently, for the 200th episode spectacular, we did the math and ranked based on all of our ratings how well we've reviewed every franchise that we've done.
Yeah, huh? Okay.
And I'll have you know that Crank was up there. It was in the 20s, and I believe it tied with Ghostbusters.
Hey, listen, I am not a man of math by any stretch of the imagination, but 20 versus 200 sounds good to me.
No,
Not
that's
bad.
very high. That's very high. Yeah.
Yeah.
High up in the rankings, gang. Now, today, we're covering two Children of the Corn films. I say films. Children of the Corn 5, Fields of Terror, and more importantly, what prompted this beautiful return, Children of the Corn 666, Isaac's Return.
God damn right.
I fucking nailed this.
I've
you did.
never. Yeah, no. Dan texted me like a few weeks ago, asking me if I wanted to do it. I had, and honestly, we'll talk about this. Still have zero interest in any of the Children of the Corn vehicles. But it's called The Return of Isaac. Who the hell am I to turn down a gimmick? So,
Yeah.
there you go.
Thank you for indulging us.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Isaac, also very important, I would say, in the mythology of the franchise podcast, as the man who coined the nickname D-Train.
Is that right?
That is right.
Yeah, well, Big Eye has kind of taken on a life of its own too. So I've got to give you credit for that. And I needed something to counter it, and D-Train just came about.
That's right. This
didn't
is how
know
this
that.
is how we used to greet each other, Henry. Ready for this? One of us walks in the room. Big Eye. Now you.
What's up, D-Train?
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
Very illuminating. I didn't know that. I
That-
love it.
Beautiful. We're really adding layers of history to the
Yeah.
show.
I know.
There is
We are-
history and mythology to the show, as you said. So go ahead there, Big Eye. What'd you say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say that I'm just really glad that we can just pull up the curtain over here.
That's right. That's right. And I'm the man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
The D train. All right. Children of the Corn 5. Let's get it started. Fields of Terror.
Yeah,
Great
wow.
title, by the way. I have to say, Fields of Terror is not bad.
It's very direct. I mean, it's really not that creative. It's just, but you haven't heard it. I haven't heard Fields of Terror before, so
I'll give it one
like-
demerit, Henry. When I went to Google it, the first thing that came up when I typed in Fields of was the Sting song Fields of Gold. And
yeah.
I got that stuck in my head for the remainder of the film.
I actually have had it stuck in my head since you said at the beginning of the show this is what we were covering, and it went right in because I was going to make a Fields of Gold joke,
Of course.
and now the song's kind of in the back there somewhere in my amygdala.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get it out there.
Walk through fields of barley. Right?
Well,
My
he's-
mom had that album. It was called Ten Summoner's
Summoner's
Tale. One of the
Tale.
worst titles for any album ever. All right.
How old is that album?
I want to say maybe a 1991 situation.
think that you
Oh,
are
okay.
right.
Here's what I can picture. It's Sunday morning. I'm playing video games on the living room television, perhaps an MLB 95 situation. And my mom is cleaning. She's running around with cleaning fluid, spraying shit. And on the speakers, Fields of Gold by Sting. There you go.
I just wanted to know where it was in relation to the Brand New Day era.
Oh,
So-
very much before, very pre-Brand New Day. Was Brand New
It's,
Day one of those albums that got roped into 9/11? Like all of a sudden after 9/11 it became about that?
Interesting.
You know what I'm talking about? Like The
Maybe, I
Rising
do,
by
yeah.
Springsteen and that U2 album?
Yeah, that could be.
Walk On,
maybe.
remember that U2 song? Walk On. Isaac, do you remember how mad you were when they put that U2 album on our phones?
Oh, I was livid. That was honestly 9/11 all over again for me, quite frankly.
I still listen to that album.
I'm okay. Maybe you want to edit that out.
No,
before
I'm
this-
proud of it. No problem. Songs of Innocence. Okay. Children of the Corn 5, we have a new director, as we do with every one of these movies. And here we have a fella by the name of Ethan Wiley. Now, of course, everyone remembers Ethan was what my father wanted to name me. No, what my mother wanted to name me, and my dad vetoed it because he thought it sounded gay.
Right.
That's a
Right,
true
I do.
story.
I do recall.
All right. So Ethan Wiley, he's actually like a guy with like credits. He wrote the movie House, the horror movie from the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, where that guy with PTSD fights ghosts.
Yeah, William Catt, the greatest American hero.
That's the guy in that movie?
I'm almost positive.
I don't think that's right.
Well, I have it up here right now. so
Who's
let's
the
see.
next door
Yep,
neighbor? Is it George
William
Wendt?
Catt. Yes, and William Catt.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So Ethan Wiley, he wrote House. He then directed and wrote House 2, the second story. We'll cover it. And then he did this, and that was basically it. That was the beginning of the end. He's still working, though. In 2017, he made a movie called Return to the Forbidden Valley,
Oh, good
which
for him.
seems a little xenophobic, to be honest. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wonder where his political leanings are.
I don't know. He could be one of those well-meaning liberals like us who are woke and racist at the same time, according to a
Yes.
recent iTunes review.
Yes. Well, we've been reading. We got 2 great reviews this
Yeah.
week. We'll read them at the end of the show.
All right, so he wrote and
Won't take
directed
long.
this baby. He's a real auteur. It came out straight to video, of course, June 21st, 1998, on a budget. I found a budget for this one, Henry.
Oh, wow. All right, good.
$1.7 million. That's what they're spending on these movies.
That's a lot of money for this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You
Now,
know, I have to. Can I say something right away while you're giving the stats? I think it's relevant.
I'd love
I
to
kept-
hear it.
I kept wondering. I want Isaac's thoughts on this too. I kept wondering. I'm watching the 5th and 6th installments of this. You know, against my will, but that's beside the point. And I'm wondering. It's 1998. We do not have Netflix streaming. We are not in that era yet. So I'm wondering, this will have been after what 3, 4, 5, and 6, 4 movies in the Children of the Corn series that had no prospects other than going straight to video. This is an honest question to both of you. Why are they making them?
Straight to video is a huge market at the time, Henry. I worked at Blockbuster for 6 years. We sold a ton of this shit. In the 90s, it was horror sequels. Those Tremors sequels did really well. Those there were a lot of them. Hellraisers,
No,
there were a lot of those.
there were.
Those did well. And then I feel like it turned a corner in the early 2000s. They stopped making action hero movies anymore. So all those Seagals and Van Damme started going straight to video, and those were huge.
Okay.
I'm telling
No,
you.
Henry, you make very salient points. I mean, I'm sure I would have thought of that too if I just wasn't literally just like watching, like looking at my TV for an hour and 22 minutes, just going, why the fuck did I agree to this? There you go.
I love it. And the sadder part with you is that it was optional. It was optional for you.
Yeah, I willingly agreed to this. I'm not getting compensated by. I'm not getting compensated. Any stretch of the imagination. I actually lost money because I had to rent these on Amazon.
Hey, I can Venmo you that money.
No, I don't do that.
But if it's any consolation, we were actually not compensated for this either. I spent $8.
We're compensated.
This is the regular feed, my friend.
Yeah, but this was suggested by a patron. Listen, Isaac, you might be wondering. You might be wondering why 3 years later, we've really reached the bottom of the barrel with franchises. We've hit Children of the Corn. That's not true. Somebody paid us $100 to do this.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, fucking sell yourself.
Kyle Padovano, right? That's the guy's name.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, at the end of it, I'll have spent. I guess the first one was free, so $96 to do all this. But that's okay. It works.
You're making out like a fucking bandit, Henry.
You're right. I'm filthy rich off of this one. But yeah, I am sorry that you had to pay the $8, Isaac. But just think of it this way: you are now being heard by the world for your opinions on this movie.
Honestly, I would pay $16. Not anything above that though.
Okay, all right.
This podcast episode will be in your obituary when the time comes. All right, I'd like to give the Korn update. It's 1998, so they were releasing Follow the Leader. And, first single, of course, was Got the Life. It charted on TRL, and then they followed it up with Freak on a Leash, which the music video was co-directed by Todd McFarlane.
Their magnum opus.
Amazing stuff. That album featured such classic performances as Ice Cube on the song Children of the Corn, someone from The Far Side, and also Fred Durst on the battle rap All in the Family, where they make gay jokes at each other for 5 minutes. All right?
Someone from the far, Gary Larson was a member of Korn?
No, not the comic strip The Far Side. Did you have one of those books growing up? The Far Side. You remember the PH, the hip-hop group. All right. Let's get it going. Where to start, gang? Children of the Corn 5, Fields of Terror. We get a bit of a prologue, right? With the kid from Picket Fences. He's in a cornfield, of course. He's attacked by some kind of energy beast. Must be
I kind of thought that that kid was the youngest child from Malcolm in the Middle for 2 seconds.
Oh, Dewey, of course.
Yeah,
nah,
Dewey.
He'd be too young, man. This kid was the hot shit in the 90s. He was the Picket Fences kid. He was kind of creepy but also cute. And then he sort of disappeared. He was on Gilmore Girls for a while. He was a classmate of Rory's. That's right. You know why he was good? Because he can play sort of cute but also creepy.
I could see that. I can see some endearing qualities in his just sheer fucking creepiness. So
which actor are we talking about? What's his name in real life?
The kid, Adam Wiley.
Adam Wiley.
No relation to Ethan Wiley, the director.
That was going to literally be my next question.
Mm-hmm.
No, but he was in something we covered. He was in one of the American Pie movies.
Really? I don't recall him
Yes.
from that. It must have been a straight-to-video one.
Oh yes, I'll find it. You keep going. American Pie presents Bandcamp.
Oh, sure, Bandcamp. He was at the Bandcamp. Probably got, like, pissed on or something.
So no relation to the director at all?
None.
Okay, good to know that nepotism apparently doesn't bleed into the straight to video.
No, this kid was a get. This kid, Eva Mendes is in this movie. At the time,
Yeah.
this kid was the bigger get.
Yeah, because this is pre-training day and for her. So yeah,
She was
yeah,
a nobody. She's even spelling her name differently. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Does with a Z.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what the fuck is up with that Z?
I don't know, but the fact that she changed it when she went all Hollywood to an S, as somebody that has a Z last name, I'm a little offended by that.
I was
be
a
quite
little
honest.
annoyed by it myself. What are you, in Ellis Island? Huh?
Yeah.
Someone's
Yeah,
changing your
I-
name?
I actually thought the same thing when I saw it. I was like, oh sure. So when she wasn't famous, she didn't mind the Z there, but now she's got to become more Anglo, so she turns it to an S.
Also, she's not really an actress. Didn't she, like, get married a few years ago and then immediately retire from acting?
First of all, I think she's a good actress. I don't think she's bad.
Eva
but
Mendes?
But she married the guy who happened to be. He's not that popular, but it's Ryan Gosling.
Oh, that's who she's married to?
Yeah,
God, what do
met
they
on the
talk
Place
about?
they met on the Place Beyond the Pines, and you're right. After that, she was pretty much never heard from again.
That was
That's
it.
fair.
They just spent the next 7 years telling each other how pretty they are. He's like, yo, Eva, listen to this. I'm doing my New York accent. That's what I do in
Loud
movies.
for Ryan Gosling. It's too loud, but the accent's good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So the kid gets attacked in the cornfield, and then just when you're starting to get a handle on this movie, it's 1 year later, and you're like, oh, all right. And what it is there's a bunch of, what are they, teens, college kids?
I couldn't tell because at some point they intimate that Eva Mendes is about to turn 18 because that was believable. So, I thought they were 20-somethings going to the movie and even in the car. And then I was like, oh, I guess maybe we're pushing 18, 20, maybe a couple of them. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. We always had like that one kid in high school who definitely, like faked his, papers and is actually like 30 something years
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
So
I remember you, Shinasa. That's a real person. Okay, so they're coming to this town because because her brother is part of this cult?
No, it's ostensibly. I think that's an underlying reason that. No, it's not. It's completely to deliver Kurt's ashes to a special place. Eva Mendes's ex-boyfriend, who has died. She is recently widowed.
Wait,
and they want to.
I missed that entire subplot.
Yeah, they're carrying his urn in the car. Do you remember Isaac?
Yeah, no, I do. And like apparently like the ashes like get on her at some point, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. They
Yeah, but
spill them
it's
and all that.
It's very easy to forget because they literally never fucking address it ever again.
No. I
I
must
don't-
have missed that one line about it. And then, what ends up happening is the girl gets invested in her brother, and then that's what the movie's about.
Yeah, because somebody says that there's something about
The boy
When
who
they encounter-
walks he who walks behind the rose.
yes, and then Allison's head is like does a Scooby Doo, and she's like, whoop, and
Yeah.
then
It's
And
when
then
they're
she-
sitting in that
That's
bar.
why it's Tim Allen.
That's right. That's right. Yes, that's right. In the bar.
Yeah, their
Yeah.
car breaks down. It's a lot like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with Alexandra Daddario.
Wow.
Remember that one?
Yes. I mean, every Texas Chainsaw Massacre has a car breakdown, so I don't remember.
No, but the
sure.
one with the hot girl where they go and like she inherits that house.
Ah, yes, one of the newer ones.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe.
Yeah, the girl from True Detective. So they're in this town. Their car breaks down. They have a house to stay in for some reason. It's who are the guys? It's Eva Mendes, of course. There's a unknown actress who's our female lead named Stacy Galina, and
Allison.
Allison, very good. You're paying
Yeah.
attention.
I did. I'm done here. Good night, folks.
Yeah. Of course,
Yeah,
there's Greg Vaughn as Tyrus. You'll, of course, remember him as the guy who invited Cordelia to the frat party in Season 2, Episode 5 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Reptile Boy. And then, I'm sorry, it's the late 90s now. Everyone's going to be from TV shows I watched.
No, it's true.
And-
We get Frank Zappa's son, one of his sons. He shows up early, right? He gets dispatched pretty quickly.
There was another Zappa in this, too.
no, just one Zappa.
No,
Ahmed
Diva Zappa was also in this.
Diva?
Yeah.
What? Where? I didn't. Oh,
I
okay,
don't know.
I didn't know.
She's credited. I didn't notice her.
All right. Well,
Drill
Ahmed,
girl.
is the bald guy who the shaved head fella.
Well,
who's got
there's
this-
two cars. There's two cars, and then one of them gets killed like immediately. And I don't know what were they connected to the other car in any way?
Yes.
Yeah, they were all like. I think they were all like coming in like separately, but like together.
That's right. They were meeting
For
up,
the same urn clearing.
That's correct. Ahmed Zappa with the blow-up doll fascination fetish, and his girlfriend Angela Jones, made famous in Pulp Fiction for her role as Esmeralda Villalobos, and I said Villa because that's what Bruce Willis says in Pulp Fiction many times, if you recall. I don't think she went on to much after that, but yeah, and then they're dispatched quickly, and then we get the car 4. With and I want to let Dan. Obviously, he's chomping at the bit to announce the one actor we haven't said yet.
Come on, I mean, it is
No, I mean-
it is amazing. Look, I've brought her up on the show before, and you haven't even known what I meant, Henry.
No, it's true. It's
Yeah.
very true. And I still don't think this is the only thing I've really seen her in. And in this, it's she was a man, I believe, right?
Yeah, he's
That's the
trying
point.
so hard with the pronouns. I hear him thinking before each one.
I did click on the wiki for Alexis Arquette 'cause I wanted to a little bit be up on her transition and all that. It's actually quite sad. Quite sad.
Well, she killed herself, right? Or
No.
something.
Look at you, not even knowing.
I
No,
don't really
she-
know. Well,
I
we
believe
haven't even
that-
said who it is. It's Alexis
Oh.
Arquette. She's the trans Arquette, of course. And you'll remember her as Adam Sandler's bandmate from The Wedding Singer. But she was a fine actress who's been in a lot of stuff. But back here in Children of the Corn 5, she's still a dude bro. She's got like a goatee.
Right.
By the
She
way,
is no longer
she
with-
is a twerp in this movie. And
Yeah.
the transition was for the better.
Well,
You
bad
said-
news for
you
you,
said that.
D-Train. Bad news for you, D-Train. She is no longer with us.
I know.
September 11th, 2016.
She died on 9/11,
Yes,
Yeah.
2016. But yes,
but 9/11,
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
the anniversary. What is that? The
Never forget.
15-year anniversary. She died. Never forget.
And to make it worse, especially on a show like ours, which is both woke and racist,
Mm.
she died from complications stemming from HIV.
Oh no! What? This is a real role reversal. This is the kind of thing I usually reveal, and you start laughing, and then everyone gets mad.
Right.
But now
I'm
it's
just pointing
my
things out.
yeah. She died of
Um,
People still die of HIV.
Well, I think
Apparently.
she had it obviously for a while, and it causes a lot of illnesses within you because your immune system's gone. So it says she had cardiac arrest.
1987, she had it. Yeah, I'm wikiing like a motherfucker right now.
Right, exactly. There you go.
I guess the
Yeah,
Arquettes
yeah.
don't have as much money as Magic Johnson.
Which I guess it kind of really we're going down a weird path here, but it tells you a lot about the 1% really. The
That's
fucking
right.
Arquettes couldn't even get all of these meds.
Yeah.
Wow.
Put
Wild.
together Rosanna, Patricia, come on.
Yeah, they could have pooled.
Other little thing, yeah.
They all loved each other. Patricia, come on. You're all about rights.
watched her
God.
acceptance speech. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, she's good at acceptance speeches. She'll always say something fucking insane. I mean, that's good. But whatever. So what do we have here? They come to the town. They discover that her brother's there. They drive up to the cult. Adam Wiley, the kid from Picket Fences, is waiting. He's like, "You can't fucking come in." And she's like, "I'm just gonna like go to the cops and say there's like a cult here." And he's like, "Fine, come in." And so she does.
Yeah. He has a weird, yet another string in poor follow-ups to the legendary Isaac. But this kid is very, very strange. You know, you're right. He's you'd think he'd be very hardcore and secretive, but there are several moments in the film where he's just kind of like, she's like, "I want to see my brother." "You can't do that." "Oh, I really want to see him." "Well, all right. All right."
Yeah, he's very like, you know, if he wants to be a leader, I think he has to like really work on his power assertion skills.
Yeah.
It's
Like-
Nebraska. They're not the brightest. I mean, he who walks behind the rows is smart, right? Like this guy's a god, right? He's a
Fair-
corn god.
I'd argue if he's smart from the other installments, but sure, he's a corn god. Yeah.
Well, I don't think we've actually seen him in any of the previous installments, Henry, and we don't actually see him until 6.
Right. That incarnation of him. I am of the belief that this.
You mean 666?
You
How
think
dare
all these fucking people, like the main villain in
No.
all the movies, are
No.
he who walks behind the rows?
No, I do not. I believe that the only this in 666 and in whatever was the one with the monster that in 2, I think, where the crazy Ray Harryhausen monster came
That
out.
was 3, I believe.
3.
Urban
I believe
Harvest.
Urban Harvest. Thank you. I believe those were the only 2 like actual incarnations of the demon, but not the demon. You know what I mean? Like sort of a.
I
sort of
don't
like
even think
Berserk.
those. I think those are like henchmen in the same way that like Scylla and Charybdis guard the door to hell or whatever in the Odyssey. Know what I'm talking about?
Scylla and Charybdis.
There's Scylla and Charybdis, and they're on either side of the door to hell, and then you get past them and you go down the river Styx.
Wow, I'm okay. I know my mythology pretty well. I did those names weren't.
Well,
ringing
I
bells.
mean, those are very obvious names. I don't know my mythology very well, and so sounds like you're a dumbass.
Are you talking about Cerberus?
No,
three-headed
not the
dog?
three-headed dog. I know Cerberus. We talked
Right.
about him in Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
hmm
All right, I'm impressed. Good for you.
Thank you. I read Ulysses.
You
I
mean
don't
the
know.
Odyssey?
Well, I
You didn't
said
read
the
it.
Odyssey before,
You didn't read James Joyce's Ulysses. I can guarantee you that.
but people say people call it Ulysses, man. It's like how people call Raiders of the Lost Ark Indiana Jones.
Similar, analogous point. Very good. All right. Anyway, we're getting hung up on meaningless details of a very important. Yes, semantics. This is all semantics.
Okay, so we go. She's in the thing. She talks to David Carradine. He's going to be the head of our cult. He's obviously great, and then
I thought he was great. Yeah,
he was amazing. No, he's my MVP for sure.
he's my MVP too. Yeah.
He's
I mean-
fucking amazing. Isaac, you seem notably silent at this.
Well, no, I mean, I was literally gonna, and you know, I was waiting until the end, but I guess we can just get into it now. Like, Eva Mendes is definitely gonna be my MVP just because she's
What?
a total complete smoke show. But
Yeah.
But-
I get it. I get it.
If we're, you know, if I'm actually gonna take this with a degree of seriousness, which I am not, but if I were to do that, then yeah, it'd be the Carradine for sure.
Mendes is a smoke show, but she's a little young here, and she gets involved with the cult about halfway through the movie, and
Yeah,
I
I know.
can't,
I was very
in all
disappointed.
seriousness, support that character.
But
But
I was with Isaac until David Carradine showed up because I actually, she actually can act, and even though she's young,
Guys,
especially compared to her co-stars, I mean, I mean, I thought she was totally good.
What universe am I living in where Eva Mendes can act and you're agreeing on this?
Eva Mendes is a good actress.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
seen her
I
funny
thought she was
things.
great in Hitch. Well, I mean, what do you want? What is the great
talking
Eva
about
Mendes
Hitch.
performance? Too
Place
Fast, Too
Beyond the
Furious?
Pines. Place Beyond the Pines.
Place Beyond the Pines. She's barely in it.
Raining Day, she's very good in that.
She's barely in that.
You're just gonna say that for everything.
It's quality, not quantity.
Exactly.
God.
Thank you. But when David Carradine shows up, and starts lisping his way through that monologue, I was real happy.
Yeah.
It was
That
something
was
to latch on
amazing.
to. Yeah.
I loved Eva Mendes in Ghost Rider, too. That was a great performance. Okay, guys, so David Carradine, she gets past that, then she gets to see her brother. Now, her brother was abused by their father. Lots of abusive fathers in this franchise.
Yeah.
I'll say that. And the sister, I guess, when she came of age, left, and he blames her for abandoning him. So he joined this cult because I guess that's what you do in that situation.
Yeah.
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 As one does.
Yeah. I mean, I almost did when I went to the Church of Scientology for a while.
This is true, man. We almost lost. We
What?
How does Isaac doesn't know this?
No, I don't think I do.
Isaac, I spent some time with the Church of Scientology. I wanted to join up. I went for my e-meter reading and went to a couple of meetings over there with the head honcho in Brooklyn, and I'm sorry to say they then required some money of me that I did not have, and I bowed
Oh,
out.
there you go.
It saved my life, though, my poorness.
Yeah. The one time where being poor probably, I mean, we would have never met you. Your life would have been on a different trajectory right now.
Yeah, I
You'd
could be on a boat right now guarding David Miskovich's wife's cell.
I mean, that would be a hell of a place to quarantine during this whole thing, though. Like, I think they're a pretty coronavirus-free clan over there.
That's a great point. The Scientologists are probably all fine.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could hunker down anywhere, it would be in that empty L. Ron Hubbard office on the first
hell
floor
yeah.
of every Scientology building.
Fuck yeah.
Guys, okay, then what happens? Fucking the cult. Eva Mendes starts to get taken in by this cult. They're trying to. Oh, the guy, the brother, gives her that letter or whatever.
Yeah.
And it has an anagram in it that she figures out. It's like this big, she's doing math and shit. She busts out a pencil.
Well, she actually just lays her finger by accident over the words, and she sees the HELP written there, and
Right.
she says, "Oh,
Oh my
he meant
god.
help."
It would have been so fucked up if then she went to rescue him and he was like, no, that's just the first letter of every sentence. I'm
But
good.
you're here now. You're here now. Can you jump in the silo? Because we need somebody.
It's like I'm also at this point thinking that like nobody in this movie is even like halfway that clever to even know what an anagram is, more so how to like actually write one out. So
That's true.
Yeah, but we don't know this son. I actually think the cult people are smarter than the group of teens that we're following.
In what way?
I don't know. They seem to have a strategy. They know what they're doing. They even indoctrinate Eva Mendes in the course of 1 hour.
Yeah, they kind of get that hunky-dory blonde guy to kind of flirt with her, and all of a sudden she's smitten after she sleeps with the friend. And very
let's talk
cold.
about that.
Oh, that's right. She fucked
very coldly.
the Buffy guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Very
How about
coldly tells him. Yeah.
By the way, that should have been a sex scene. I'm sorry, this is a horror movie, right? They never show them fucking. They show them going upstairs, and then there's a cut, and then it's post-coital.
Well, isn't there a sort of a glossy bluish tinted kind of screen where they're sort of doing something?
There's
Quickly.
nothing in this
Yeah.
movie.
But then they just wake up.
It gives you the mere idea of fucking
right.
without any of the actual fun of watching it.
Right, it's true.
Well, I'm not
Yeah.
interested in that. I want to watch some fucking.
And it changed his life, as I would imagine it would, sleeping with her. And then she's nonplussed. She wakes up the next day when
No,
he says,
he's nonplussed, right?
no.
No, he's the one who goes up to her and he's like, "Hey, that wasn't to me it wasn't a one night stand." And then just with like all of like the coldness and no warmth whatsoever just in her eyes, she's just like, "Well, it was for me."
Oh
I
my
felt
God. Yeah, you've been in that moment, huh?
Not any time lately. We're fucking quarantined, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
some of us are. All right, so they go back to the cult to rescue the brother, and they find David Carradine, and his skull starts to come apart, and then inside of his skull, there's a flamethrower, and it shoots fire at them. And it turns out that he's been dead for 100 years or some bullshit, and he's just sort of a shell that this flamethrower is inhabiting. And then Adam Wiley says, "I'm actually the guy. This cult is mine."
Right. He kills Fred Williamson, we should note, who's in this movie, the famous cultish B actor Fred Williamson. Tarantino kind of regular, right? And Rodriguez. Have you seen a lot of Fred Williamson movies, Dan?
I mean, probably. He's a face. I didn't look him up for the podcast, but, like, you know,
Yeah.
I knew when he showed up on screen. I've seen him in a lot of shit.
Yeah. Football player, and then actor in the 70s and 80s. And
Yeah,
then,
famously, boss N-word.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
Yes, you
but,
got David Carradine. Did you notice the bartender, guys? Who was the bartender in the bar?
No.
It's Kane Hodder.
Oh my God, guys, we've reached the Kane Hodder era of Children of the Corn.
Yeah.
What a
Ain't that
beautiful
something?
thing. Isaac,
I'm
every
surprised you didn't notice.
time we do a horror franchise, at some point Kane Hodder shows up, and that's when we've hit the Kane Hodder era. Because he played Jason in like 2 Jason movies, and horror nerds get very excited about that for some reason.
Yeah.
Kane Hodder.
Yeah. Kane Hodder. All right?
Kane Hodder. Yeah.
People
He-
look at him like he's fucking Robert Englund or something, and I'm like,
Yeah.
get the fuck out of here.
We've
He's just a
talked
big
about him-
doofus.
Yeah, we've talked about him, Isaac, on the show a lot because he's just lots of fun to talk about. And and yeah, when he showed up, I was just like, holy shit.
He's
This-
still bitter they made another guy play Jason in Freddy vs. Jason. He talks about that at
Yeah.
like conventions and shit.
Well, he got to play a bartender in this movie with some lines. So, you know, they gave him some lines. It
How-
did cost him.
How pissed off can he really be in general?
He
Great.
walks behind the lines.
Yeah.
Henry, then it's Silo time, right? We're gonna like throw him in. It's sort of like the end of Joe versus the Volcano.
Yeah. It's Jacob's time, and he has about to sire a baby with his child bride Lily.
Jacob's a
And-
good name, by the way. They never run out of these rustic names for characters in these movies.
Yeah, they're biblical. They
Yeah, it's always
get a biblical-
Abraham, Ezekiel.
Yeah. Amos.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rachel, and so Jacob kind of comes around and realizes, you know what, I don't want to do this. I'm done. And
Rogue.
yeah, and he runs away. I just never in all these movies, Isaac. You don't. I'm sure you watched the first 4, so you would know what I'm talking about,
100%.
right? But they never. They're just a bunch of kids, and nobody ever really. There's a few exceptions, but they don't like
Just kick him in the face.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They don't ever refuse and then like, you know what? Not only am I going to not jump in the silo, I'm going to kick the shit out of all you 11-year-olds. They just run, and nobody has a gun. So they're just walking around with scythes and knives and machetes.
And they're
It's
always
just-
running deeper into the cornfield. And I'm like, you guys know this cornfield is run by a god. Get the fuck out of there. Just punch these fucking kids into a bloody pulp. You could probably, I mean, these fucking 4 teens, even without Eva Mendes, you could probably take on 100 of these fucking kids.
Yeah, no, seriously. I'm of the belief that if you're like, okay, these aren't like 6 or 7-year-olds, they're like 12 or 13. At that age, if a 12 or 13-year-old is trying to come at you, you are perfectly within your right to fight them.
Of course, I'd be putting Adam Wiley over my fucking knee.
Damn right.
They're ridiculous. I just don't, or just like, you know what I would do? Just bully them. Just bully them until they're upset.
Locker.
Throw them in a locker, sure.
Give him a nice, give him a nice swirly. Like we are, if it's in this era, maybe like cyberbully them a little bit. Like make it really hurt psychologically. Like really fucking give it to them.
I would just call them a nerd and convince them that I fucked their girlfriend or something. Well, I was gonna say mom, but they don't care about that because they killed their moms.
Right. They're all dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jacob, he semi gets away, but not really. They catch up to him real fast, and then they string him up by rope, and then Ezekiel stabs him in the side, almost like you'd butcher a pig, but it's a very strange. He does like a very deliberate side stab, and then says, "Make sure to cut his throat, and he will make him a scarecrow." Essentially,
right.
So they want to make Jacob just be useful as a scarecrow. Which, practically speaking, if you are going to kill someone and have no use for them, but you do live in a field of corn.
They did it at the beginning of Urban Harvest, remember?
Yeah.
Eli got that dude's dad. Eli, that's another good name.
Yeah.
Damn right it is.
Yeah. All right. So what happens at the end? The one girl gets away, of course. She's the final girl, Allison. We know that because earlier in the movie they were all drinking at dinner and she got offered a beer and said no. So we knew she was going to survive the rest of the movie. And she did. Hooray.
Alexis Arquette takes out 2 of them he's stuck under that car, remember? And he
Oh yeah.
Low torches, the gasoline starts leaking or something. He has a line right before he dies.
Oh, I forgot to, but I remember it was being like, you know what? It really wasn't that bad of a line. It was.
He got one good one.
Got it, but like, yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay, yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
No, he basically blows up the entire barn, essentially.
Yes, he does. And because Jacob tells Allison how to do it, as we've learned through 4 other films, you just explode the source with fire. And so it's that yet again. And so she makes it to the top of the silo before she does get a what would that farm implement be? There's lots of farm implements. Is that
sort
a
of
hoe?
a scythe.
Well, it's almost like a hoe. I'm not sure, but she takes it to the shoulder, and then she throws Ezekiel into the eternal flame.
How dare you?
But didn't she get like chainsawed on her shoulder a little bit before she did that? Like,
yes, she did. She's fine though.
Yeah, I know. Look,
They get a little wear and tear. They have to, because the last scene of the movie, they got to show them all bloodied up, stumbling out of town.
There is no consideration to any kind of human anatomy in this movie, and I think that's what discouraged me the most from enjoying it.
That's
really?
what discouraged you the most from enjoying it?
I like things to be anatomically correct. Thank you very much.
I couldn't care less about that shit, man. I just wish this was more fun. Look, it's not. It's honestly not a bad one. I'm starting to enjoy the Children of the Corn movies, guys. But it's a bunch of teens showing up a place. It was all right.
I can't go
I have
along
such
with that.
low standards at this point.
I know. I get it. But I can't go along with it. It was still a slog. It didn't have even some of the stuff I disliked in previous entries where there's at least one germ of an idea that's trying to be put forth in them, even if it's unsuccessful. But this one, oh my Lord, I'm with you with the teens going. I mean, that was
the brother thing.
Fun.
The brother thing was a good hook.
Yeah. I got full disclosure right now of the 6 we've watched. This is the worst one for me.
You're nuts. This is so much better than the fourth one, man.
The fourth one.
Yeah, that one
Oh,
was so boring.
Yeah, but that had a visual style.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did. We talked about it. It had a little flair going on there. It's garbage with flair. Garbage with flair. You know.
I thought
What about you,
Isaac's Return had a visual style.
Well, it did.
Yeah, no, I mean, overall, like, I was not pleased at all with any of this. I mean, okay, I'm generally not even like a horror guy anyway. So I already kind of wasn't really looking forward to it, but it wasn't even so much of any kind of like gore or anything that disappointed me more than like it was literally everything else that it involved.
Yeah.
So
I'm starting to get it
yeah.
now. Eva Mendes. It was like the one thing to hang on to.
It quite
Well, it
literally
was.
It literally was, and that's why she's my fucking MVP.
Okay. What do you give the movie out of 1 to 5?
Probably 2.
2? Okay. Henry's
Yeah,
going with a
again,
1.
again, Eva Mendes is literally the only thing that's saving it from being a complete 1. So yeah, it's gonna be a 2 for me, dog.
All right, I'm gonna go with a 1. Even though it's not totally unwatchable, I got to be realistic here. A 2 is almost a recommend, so I can't give it a 2.
Well, I would say if
Not
you're
good
venturing out to watch the Children of the Corn movies, don't skip this one.
Okay.
But
All
then
right.
you probably have a bigger issues at hand. So yeah.
I'm going to give it a solid 2. And look, you know, I try to judge these movies against what they're trying to accomplish. So this is the 5th Children of the Corn movie going straight to video. I think it's a little better than it could have been.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
There's-
I know what you're saying, but I think that's actually you hit on why I didn't think it quite hit it, because I thought that the other movies, for all their flaws, tried to have one idea going for it. This was literally just teens in a car going to a field. We still don't get, as we talked about in the other 2 episodes, we still don't understand really the point. We don't get, in this movie doesn't help us.
No,
We
no.
still don't understand.
In terms of the mythology of the series, this is a total
nothing.
throwaway.
Exactly.
But-
That's what I'm trying to say.
But I don't care about that. I don't even pretend to. This movie, to me, I would watch this before I rewatch the first Children of the Corn. I don't want to sit through fucking Peter Horton wandering around a field again. Here's where I'm at. I loved the third one, and I'm okay with 2 and 5.
Okay. All right. So, Isaac, MVP is Eva Mendes. Who's your LVP? Who's the worst person in the movie?
Yeah. Oh God, I mean all of them honestly. But if I really had to guess, I mean who is the blow up doll dude at the very beginning?
Ahmet Zappa?
Yeah, that's probably my LVP. I mean,
That's
granted,
a good
yeah,
call.
yeah. I kind of I mean, I got what they were going for with the whole blow up doll thing. It's like, oh, look at these fucking crazy kids over here. But I'm just like, that is such like a 90s trope that I'm just like, okay, sure. I usually like me, because I'm a fucking moron, like I'll get at least some kind of a chuckle out of it, but it was really more just like a eye roll. So
Yeah.
What about you,
Yeah.
Hank?
You know, I hated to continue to be giving it to repetitively bad, unthreatening villains, kids like Ezekiel.
You going with Adam Wiley?
Yeah, I am.
This poor
Yeah.
guy.
I'm sorry. I wanted to give it to one of the main teens.
I'm
but
going
I feel
to.
Like, are you?
Yeah.
All right. Are you going to give it to Tyrus?
No, I'm giving it to the main teen. We're talking
Yeah.
about least valuable player, and I'm sorry, Stacy Galena, you're the
Yeah.
star of a movie, and you're giving me
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, she was.
She's
my-
not
believe it
bad,
or-
but she's just a blank fucking slate.
I agree.
That's not a bad call at all.
No, she was going to be my second choice. She was absolutely up there because she was like, she reminded me of Boof from Teen Wolf minus everything Boof has.
Listen, She's
Minus
certain.
everything.
Look, if she reminded me of Boof, I'd be through the fucking roof about this lady. Nobody
Yeah,
is as good as Boof.
The Boof roof.
Good God.
Yeah, but
You
no,
know,
she's
you remember?
terrible.
You ever see Teen Wolf, Isaac?
No.
Oh,
Oh my god!
got to get on that, my friend.
Holy shit, dude! I gave that a
Time.
5.
All right, we'll see how much longer we're locked down.
It's listen, you're gonna fall in love with Boof, man. You want to fall in love with a fictional character from an '80s movie? Boof
he's
is the
right.
way to go.
Yeah, he's right. He's right.
All right. I'll take your word for it.
All
All
right.
right.
So that's the MVPs.
Is there a
and the
superhero
LVPs.
count?
There actually is. It's a nice short one of 2. And let me just pull up our Isaac. You probably you'll miss this. I'm sure it's a superhero theme. Are you ready?
Yeah, so ready.
We're an embarrassment.
Number 239 in India this week.
What's
Ava-
240? No, that's what I'd love to know.
What's that? What?
What's number 240 in India? That's what I'd love to know.
What is behind us?
Yeah, what's behind? Yeah, what's 240 and what's 238? Y'all gotta look into that.
Hollywood and
great-
Toto.
Oh. I don't think he has a big India crowd. Yeah, you're probably right. Ava Mendes, of course.
Ghost
played
Rider.
Yes, Roxanne Simpson in Ghost Rider. She was also Sans Serif in The Spirit.
Sure. Every attractive lady was in that movie.
And Adam Wiley, of course, Ezekiel, played Jimmy Olsen in the direct-to-video Superman Doomsday.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we've done this count on him before because of American Pie. He played the great character Boy Kenny in Batman Beyond, and in Legion of Superheroes, he played Brainiac 5.
Oh god, so boring.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah, it's good stuff. It's really exciting, and that's it for that.
You know,
So
by
let's
the
move-
way, Alexis Arquette, she showed up in Bride of Chucky. I just remembered that.
That's correct. You're absolutely right. That's what stemmed our first conversation, probably. About
Yeah,
her.
yeah. She was like a goth lady.
yeah,
Friends
yeah.
with Jennifer
Yep.
Tilly.
That's right. That's right. Good call. Good call. All right. Well, Isaac, it's
I just got a
your
notification that someone named Colleen liked me on Hinge. Do you think it's Colleen from Survivor?
Yes, 100%. She probably heard you talking about her on the old podcast, and she was like, "Oh, I need to find this guy."
Oh, this guy decided that he has a crush on me 20 years after I was relevant? Great.
That's
Colleen's
literally-
one of the only survivors I remember.
Yeah, because she was in the first season. Everyone knows those people.
Yeah.
I'm sure you remember Rudy and Jervis, too.
No, I just remember Colleen.
Oh, okay. Now we know why. All right. Children of the Corn 666. Isaac's return. The whole reason you're here, Isaac.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
Good God.
Yep.
Directed by, that's right, a woman. An
Yeah.
actual woman.
Wow.
Blew my mind. A Canadian lady.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Carrie Skoglund. She's had a bit of a career. She got her start there in the 90s doing TV. She directed a movie called Men with Guns that got a lot of good notices at the time. I think it got compared to like John Sayles kind of shit. And
Whoa.
then, right? I might be
Well, no,
wrong
she-
about that.
No, she did direct Men with Guns. I don't know about the John Sayles comparison.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. Yeah.
All right, she does Isaac's Return here, and then she kind of has to go back to TV. She does some straight-to-video shit. But listen, in the last couple of years, she's been on top of the world. She did Handmaid's Tale, a lot of those
Yes.
episodes back in season 1 and 2. And now she did the first episode and 2 others of The Loudest Voice, the Showtime Fox News series. And
Oh.
upcoming, she'll be directing every episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier for Marvel on the Disney Plus network there.
Wow. So her career did quite well. She directed also the Netflix The Punisher. She directed an episode of that.
Yeah, I didn't bring it up because it was just one episode.
Who gives a shit? She's worked House of Cards, Walking Dead. She has a very good career.
Yeah,
that's-
she's working in
that's
TV.
That's amazing. I'm glad that she can truly recover from the depths of shame like this.
Thank you. I
Yeah, it
agree.
doesn't happen that often, but I guess you just gotta stick around, direct another, enough episodes of NCIS LA. Maybe you'll get another shot someday.
Yeah.
It's a real survivor's tale by Carrie Scogland.
Yeah.
But
Scogs, as the kids call her.
yeah, Scoggers. Next up, we've got the writers Tim Solka and John Franklin. Now, Tim Solka is a nobody, but John Franklin is quite important. We have he, of course, played. What was the character's name? Isaac, right? What the fuck am I
Isaac.
talking about?
Wait, that's him?
Yes.
That's my namesake?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
fuck.
sorry.
John
I know.
Franklin,
Well-
who played Isaac in the original Children of the Corn, is now back to write and star in Children of the Corn 6. 6.
It's interesting to see that he tried writing.
He
That's
he
it.
did
It's
his
just
best.
interesting. That's all it is interesting.
You know what's weird about it is when the first Children of the Corn came out, he was like a 25-year-old man playing like a 12-year-old or something.
Yeah.
And now he's playing like a 40-year-old in this, but he is 40. Like he kind of just grew into his age.
Yeah, he would have been. He was born in 1950. You're right. So he's 40 at the time of filming. He's 40 years old.
Yeah, he looks it. He's not special anymore. He's just some old guy.
Not special anymore.
Yeah.
Not special anymore. That's true.
Well,
Although
when
I
he
guess
was
it's
when he
maybe-
was cast in the first one, he was cast for very special reasons, which
Yes,
is that he
because-
had some sort of dwarfism that made him look younger than he was.
right. He's still. I know you didn't have to explain. I know that was for our
Yeah,
listeners.
we have listeners and a guest, Henry. I'm not only addressing you.
I understand. Yes.
True man of the audience.
Yes,
That's right.
Yeah, it wasn't for politically correct reasons. He is clearly still very short. That is very obvious.
Is he that short though?
He is.
When you see him,
I don't
in
think it would strike
portion-
me on the street. You know, you see a guy like little Timmy from the soap opera Passions. Remember little Timmy?
Sure. Uh-huh.
You know what? I actually kind of do.
Of course you do. Timmy and Tabitha, they were great. You had the little Timmy, and he was like 25 or something, and he looked like 5 years old or some shit. It was amazing. If you saw him on the street, you'd be like, this is fucking incredible. If I saw this guy, I'd just be like, it's some ugly guy.
That's a good point. It's a good point. Yeah.
You wouldn't put this guy in a sideshow. He wouldn't sell any tickets.
God.
Yeah, I'm so
No,
politically
that-
correct.
No, that's false because he could be like, hey, listen, here's Isaac from Children of the Corn 666.
Yeah.
That's enough of. That's
He
enough of
actually
reason to
must
get me
do well
irritated.
at like horror conventions.
Oh yes, he's got to do well. He's got a big booth there. You'd think, you know.
That must be his main cash cow these days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Extra-
big
extra
booth,
big
man.
booth.
Yeah,
To make him.
it's not in proportion at all.
Oh,
Isaac, I don't know if we've gotten a little bit more evil in the 3 years. But that's all right. You know, that's the way it progresses.
no,
So-
I wouldn't expect anything less from either of you.
Mm.
Good. All right. So this movie starts really strangely because
It
to
came
me,
out October 19th, 1999. Go
Oh,
ahead.
Sorry. No. I'm sorry.
That's the last thing
go
I had
ahead.
to say.
Oh, because we don't have a budget on this one either.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. It just starts really strangely, right? I mean, you get this Hannah girl, and she's kind of just immediately.
She's
with a
attractive, like all
narration.
Hannahs.
Yeah,
It's one of my theories. All women named Hannah are good looking.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's right. But she starts with a narration, like a voiceover. We haven't had that in a while. Explaining sort of. What is she talking to her mother? Is
Yeah,
that
I
what
know.
it's
I was like, what am I watching here? Eve's Bayou?
And she's driving in the pastures. Yeah, sure, a little bit like that. I
Mhm.
feel like we're in a long tail or something, but we're really not. She goes to Gatlin, good old Gatlin.
Yep, that's the town from the original. You know, the town that we really lost the plot in the fifth one in terms of the mythology because we've encountered Gatlin so much, and then there's like Hemmingsworth, which is like the town
Yeah.
next to Gatlin, and then like we saw the urban.
Right.
We went to the urban harvest. There were black people in that
Correct.
one, Isaac.
Yeah, there
And
were.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Gotta
and
have some. I got it.
sure. But in the fifth one, what was it called? It was like Desolation Falls or something.
No. Divinity.
Yeah, anytime a town in a movie has the word falls in it, it's always something ironic.
It might have been Desolation too, as well. There was like a divinity, a town of divinity, and then yeah. But you're right. And then it was Hemmingford because in the first movie it was Gatlin, and then in the second one, when they're trying to repopulate, they go to Hemmingford.
And in this one, they reference Hemingford.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we hear it again.
I was thinking like the dude who plays Isaac must have it's all he does. He just rewatches that first Children of the Corn movie. You could tell he had all the mythology so fucking down, man.
Yeah, and one of the
They
best
even
comics-
corrected something, man. Did you notice in 5 they lowered the age? Like previously it had been suggested that you can be one of the Children of the Corn until after you're 19. And in 5
at
they said
19.
at 19, and in 5 they said 18, and in this one
Yep.
they recorrected it. It was back to 19.
Yes,
These
yes,
movies
I
are a
did see that.
fucking mess. Okay. So she's driving into this town. She sees a preacher. Then she gets in a car accident. The preacher disappears. So far, so good. Then
Yeah, as one does.
she keeps driving into Gatlin. She hits the local hospital or police office.
I couldn't tell.
It could have been either one to me, honestly.
Looked like a
Yeah, I mean,
building of some sort.
It's a
Oh, no, 'cause,
building. Yeah.
the cop takes her to the hospital, I think. So, well, the hospital.
Right.
Oh, the cop, right? She's
Yeah.
her name was
Cora.
like
The one cop in the entire fucking town.
Yeah.
it's
Cora.
like Officer Bar Brady.
Yeah.
I liked this actress. I thought this was a good performance in this movie.
Yeah, I thought I recognized her from something, but then I couldn't find her anywhere. So I don't know if it's a one-off or whatever, but yeah, she's not bad in a sea of bad. Yeah.
God,
But-
you know,
but-
I did not hate this movie. I don't know what's happening to me.
I think you might
I
have,
have-
what did you call it? Your Stockholm syndrome?
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
got a couple theories myself.
What? Hit me.
Yeah, I want to.
What's your theory?
I mean, it's the Stockholm syndrome. Obviously, it's the fact that this whole lockdown is clearly getting to you. I just think that listen, we're all diminished versions of ourselves right now.
I didn't
So-
watch this in lockdown though, Isaac. I'm an essential employee, and I watched this at work.
That that is true. Well then, okay, you have no excuse then.
Yeah, I guess I was wearing a mask though while watching it. That's not the greatest feeling. Maybe it was distracting me.
Wow, that would contribute to a completely different aura of watching a film or
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
in this case.
Serious
Wow,
business,
interesting.
man.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
whatever it is, it's a doctor's office or something, and it's creepy. You know, it's scene setting, right? There's like a bird outside with a bunch of worms on it. That's spooky.
And Hannah gets a doctor's examination by the creepiest doctor examination by the great Stacy Keach?
Absolutely, the great Stacy Keach, Christopher Titus's dad, and I
Oh, shit, that's right.
You better believe it. I fucking love Stacy Keach, and I was actually bummed out because I think if you put Stacy Keach in one of these movies, he's got to play a bad guy.
Yeah,
I-
it was a strange waste of him.
He was like
It
a
waste.
kindly old
Yeah.
doctor in this. I don't want that from Stacy Keach.
Oh, I got creepy vibes from him though. So maybe
Oh,
he
yeah.
was like a bad guy in the traditional sense, but like he had unsavory.
But he's
qualities.
only creepy early on because they set up everyone as creepy early on, so you don't know who's good and who's bad. It's really lazy and
That's true.
stupid.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So she gets an examination. There's a bunch of people running around this hospital or whatever. I noticed there was a baby doll holding a banjo. Did you notice that? Just on the
No.
floor. Spooky.
That's kind of cool. Almost like your typical Annabelle doll with like a Deliverance theme going on there. That's
You're
fine.
really reading into it, but I like it.
Yeah, sure.
I did not notice that at all.
I
I'd
didn't
say-
either. I didn't either.
I'd say I'd have to go back and watch it, but there's no way in fucking hell. I'm
You don't
doing
need to do that. So she's in town looking for her mother. She was apparently a descendant of the original Children of the Corn from 1984 or whatever. And
He's a grandchild of the Corn.
she is a grandchild of the Corn.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I guess the Corn would be her grandfather.
Hey, the Necronomicon was her grandpa, and Nancy Allen is her mom, right?
Karen Allen is her mom,
Karen Allen.
right?
Oh, we're gonna hear Karen Allen now from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Wait, this is Nancy Allen?
Oh my God, dude! Yes,
I get them mixed up, man.
Karen Allen, and you just get their names.
Yeah, just their names.
Yeah. No.
Karen
Not
Allen is Marion Ravenswood or whatever, and
Yes.
this one is from Dress to Kill.
Yeah, she's De Palma's ex-wife. She's in a lot of stuff of his.
Right.
Nancy Allen.
One of those. That's a good ex-wife director team, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think Nancy Allen's cool. She was in RoboCop
Yeah.
too.
Unlike
She's a
Mamet and his lady.
Rebecca Pigeon.
Yeah.
Let's pick on her again.
I will. I'll pick on her for the rest of my life.
Or Kate Capshaw.
And Rita Wilson. I'll never stop making fun of Rita Wilson. I don't care that she did get the fucking coronavirus.
Hey, what's going on with them? Are they okay? That was a while
They're
ago.
fine. They're using Tom Hanks's blood as a serum.
Yeah, Tom Hanks did
Antibodies?
Yeah.
Tom Hanks did one of those SNL at home things a couple weeks ago.
I don't
So
watch
Okay.
SNL anymore.
He's in good shape.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
no,
For him.
SNL's been losing me, and I'm a big SNL guy.
I did see the Brad Pitt as Dr. Fauci thing. That was very funny.
You couldn't pay me to
always
watch that.
Oh, yes, you could. You could watch. Brad Pitt
Hey.
getting in the comedy circle.
When Eddie Murphy hosted earlier this year, you said that I was lying on the podcast, that I would someday watch it. I have still not.
Okay, yeah. I don't know why I said. I don't know why I said that. Yeah.
You were trying to get all
This-
high and mighty.
That's
I
silly.
saw you rate The Golden Child 5 fucking stars on Letterboxd, you piece of shit.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
That
That's
movie's
right.
trash. You ever see that, Isaac?
No.
You're good. Okay.
Okay.
Don't like funny things from the '80s. You wouldn't like it, but I
Mm.
think you would. So.
So
I
funny.
highly enjoy funny things from the 80s.
Yeah.
So
I'll
Nancy,
check it out. I did this shit. I'll fucking check out.
Thank you.
what
Thank
did I
you,
say to
Alex.
check out? Watch Teen Wolf first.
All right, fine.
Both great.
No. Nancy Allen is the mom. She finds her pretty quick. And I guess, like, she was, like, one of the characters in the original, and the dad's dead. And she refers to the dad, and I looked it up, and the name she gives is someone that was in the original. But I'd
Okay.
have to go back, and I'm not going to do that.
No, either am I. I was curious because Nancy Allen's character's name in this, I believe, is Rachel. Am I right on that? And
Most
In the-
Rachels are attractive.
I really agree with that. Yeah.
Mhm.
You've told me this theory of yours before, and I
Yeah.
have a
100% of
Rachel.
Hannah's, like 90% of Rachel's, and all Haley's are slutty.
I mean, okay.
It's my
Never thought
theory.
about-
Apologies to the women listening named Haley.
Yeah, I can't. I know. I can't. Yeah, no comment.
You know a
The-
couple?
that
Send me their
last one,
numbers.
I don't want it to. No, the I know someone named Haley. She's a lovely person. Okay, so
Yeah,
stop it.
but she sucks a mean dick. Jesus.
Oh,
All right, I'll stop.
There
I'll stop.
There it is.
Isaac brings out the worst in me, I think.
I don't think she's
Don't
listening.
blame
So
me for this. I bear no responsibility on your actions here.
no, Dan just says things. He says things. He can't help it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What does
I
that
knew a very
mean?
attractive. I knew a very attractive Rachel. I know many. Rachel is a.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
all
it's a-
good looking.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Really derailed the show. All right.
Nancy Allen is so fucking mean to this poor Hannah girl. She says, "It was a mistake for you to come here. You're a mistake."
Right. Yeah. Before we got off on that.
Yeah, what do you
awful
got?
tangent, I was gonna say that Rachel. If it's they say her name is Rachel in the first movie. Dan, if you remember, Rachel was one of the main followers and was the one at the end of the movie who jumps out of the back seat.
Oh, with like the short brown hair.
Yes. And
Yeah.
so I was wondering, like, is it her?
It must
But,
be. That must be what they're implying.
because they don't kill her, right? Peter Horton just sort of whacks her with his elbow. I don't think they kill her in the back seat.
Yeah, no. They've already defeated the rest of the Children of the Corn. She jumps out for one last scare, and they're just like, enough of this shit. And that's
Maybe
it.
it's Nancy Allen later in life.
It could be.
Yeah, great. All right, great observation from me.
She grew out her hair, it got a little frizzy, and now here she is.
Yeah, dyed it corn colored.
That's right. She loves it.
I'm looking for a change. Do you have like a mazy, sort of hazy, sort of yellowy, cornstalky?
I'm looking to do my walls in sort of a yellow checkerboard pattern, please.
David Carradine ran the store, the beauty salon. He was like, so for $300, I can make your hair some sunshine yellow.
Yes.
Wow, that's some real Beavis and Butthead going on there.
Have you ever heard of the character Superman? I've always found him particularly interesting. He's got a sibilant desk, gang. All right, so she meets up with a bunch of people, including Gabriel, right? How does that happen?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a weird one, and I got to tell you, as shitty as this was, I didn't know where Gabriel was going. I figured he was a bad guy right off the bat, but then I actually thought he might be a good guy.
No, I wrote down very early in the movie. I wrote down this note prediction. The romance involving Gabriel is predictable. He's definitely Isaac's son and will impregnate the lead with a child named Samuel.
You did not.
I swear to God, I wrote that.
Wow, you're like a prognosticator.
No, I'm
of
not.
the
I
children.
suck at this. I watch fucking Law and Order, and I have no idea who the killer is.
No.
I can't predict fucking anything. But
You
this
say
movie,
Yeah, you're
You
being
s-
modest.
I'm not
You
being
are
modest.
modest.
I predict things so poorly that when I can predict something, I judge the movie for it. Like, if I can get it, then it's too easy.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, the fact that you just nailed all of that so early, like, that's why your patrons pay you the big bucks.
It's the law of economy of characters. There is one young man in this entire movie. They keep bringing up the name Samuel for no reason, predicting that someday she'll have a child, beget a child named Samuel. And so I'm like, someone's got to impregnate her. That's what this is leading towards, and he's the only guy there. And FYI, who the fuck is the villain in this movie? It must be him.
Yeah, you know what? In retrospect, that actually makes a ton of sense. You were definitely just way more engaged in that movie than I was. So
I think that's right. The
There
actor
you go.
is a fellow named Paul Popovich, and I thought
Any
he was.
relation to Greg?
Who's that?
Greg Popovich?
Yeah.
Coach of the Spurs.
I didn't know that. Oh, by the way, that Last Dance thing, you're watching that, huh?
Yeah, unfortunately.
What do you mean, unfortunately? It's been amazing.
I'm a Knicks fan. I fucking hate Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, my phone started playing something. I hated Jordan at the time because I was a Knicks fan, but it's like amazing to watch.
No, I mean I'm enjoying it like as a documentary and like looking back on it like 22 years later. It's I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying the narrative, but I just hate how it all kind of ended up.
You're being a little fucking sore loser.
Yes. I'll admit to that any day.
Yeah. You know what? You're a real Isaiah Thomas, man. Fucking shake their hands, Isaac.
Okay. Well, I hate Isaiah Thomas too, so this is like that personally hurts me. But in that having been said, I do appreciate and align with his vindictiveness so hard. So I get it.
That's who you are. You're the Isaiah Ryder of the ESPN viewership.
Listen, spite is one of mankind's greatest motivators. I get it. I've lost weight to spite exes twice.
You've done it again since?
Yes.
Oh my God, dude. Oh, you do look thin. Isaac, can I tell that story? Did we tell that story last time you were on?
I don't know, but which story are you thinking of?
No, the spite party.
Oh yeah. Please go on.
No, Isaac got broken up with by this lady, and he spent the next 6 months or something. And her birthday was coming up like 6 months later, and
it was a friend of mine's birthday, and she was still good friends with her.
Right, so you knew she'd be there.
I knew she was going to be at the party, and so what happened was we had dated years ago, like years before that. And I had seen her at at a party, and I had kind of let myself go a little bit. And word since her and I dated, word came down the grapevine that she had looked at me and commented on it, and I was like, oh yeah, oh word, all right. I'm about to show you something next time.
She made one tiny comment in passing, and Isaac devoted the next year of his life to this.
That is amazing.
Maybe like 6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
So the better part of a year.
But you were into it. You were going to the gym every day.
Yeah, I was going to the gym. I dieted like really, really hard, and I had lost like 45 pounds right up to that point. And at that point, Dan, you will remember this. I was dating this girl named Liz, who objectively, she was like the most objectively gorgeous woman I've up to that point had ever dated.
Nice catch.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So she also, I got the deep pleasure of attending this party, and I'll say that night Liz showed up to the apartment in one of the sluttiest ensembles I have ever seen anyone wear in real life. It was unbelievable. She might as well have been wearing fucking clear heels with goldfish inside. I felt weird being in public with her.
I forgot all about that detail, but because then we got to the party, and then it just made, like, she just could not stop looking in my direction, my ex. For what reason, whether it was me or the combination of me with that,
yeah.
I have no idea.
It felt like it worked in any case.
Oh, it worked.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I have never devoted more than 1 minute and a half to self-reflection on how I could be a better man after I've been broken up with by anyone.
Isaac became a much worse man, Henry. Yes, he lost weight, but it was all due to spite.
No, but that's being a better man, because he took control of a situation, and he was confident enough to be like, how dare her? How dare her? I'm gonna go to the gym.
I think there's a very kind reading of the situation.
Do you know what it would take for me to go to the gym? I couldn't imagine the motivation that you had. The hatred in your heart is admirable.
Hey, and guess what? I did it again.
Yeah. So was this with the most recent relationship?
This was with the most recent relationship where I got dumped on Thanksgiving after she had met my parents.
Oh, that's
because
right.
The relationship had gotten, in her words, too real for her. We were
Please.
together for a year and a half, by the way.
A year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as one does in relationships, I kind of gained a little bit of relationship weight, and I gained a lot of what I lost in 2015 back. So, Spite Tour Part 2, Electric Boogaloo, went back to the gym, dieted again, and then I met up with her, I want to say, right before shit with the coronavirus got real, just because I wanted to talk things out.
And what happened?
Really didn't want to talk shit out at all. I just wanted her to see all the progress.
Right.
I walked in, not a single take, not a double take, triple take.
Wait, but what happened?
What happened?
Did she say anything?
Oh, she absolutely did. She absolutely did.
Did you throw her a breakup bone?
No, not even that.
Did she want it?
She definitely did.
Oh, listen to this guy. She definitely did. I love it. Listen, what a great tale. The old Spite weight loss. It is great.
That was massively entertaining.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow.
Not so massive anymore, Isaac. You look great.
Thank you very
And
much.
I love
There you
that
go.
you made a great sequel reference during that story, Electric Boogaloo. We
Yeah,
have
he
covered
did.
that
I
film.
caught that we've covered those. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
They're great.
Very nice.
Okay, so oh Jesus. So she's with Gabriel, and there's a bunch of other characters. Henry, can you remind me what happened in this movie?
I'm pretty impressed that after that long tale, you remembered what we were talking about. I totally
What a
forgot.
pro. What a pro.
He went. He is a pro, isn't he? He goes right back in with Gabriel. I didn't know where we were. I
I've
didn't
been
know what
I've
movie
been
we were talking
podcasting
about.
since 2013.
You have.
Good point.
And
It's a
shows.
fair point. It's a fair point. All right. Where are we? Children of the Corn 666 Isaac's Return.
You're literally
Okay,
looking up the plot right now.
I had closed the window and I was doing something else, and then Isaac's tale took me in, and I was totally out of it. So Gabriel is teasing Hannah for a while, and she likes him. Do they get together? Do they? Yes, in a very memorable through the barnyard.
In the barn.
Yeah, I didn't really care for that either.
It was very odd. I did they breach the cell of the bars and the wooden planks they were trying to copulate through? I can't remember if that's was actually done. But yes, no, they did because he impregnates her. That's the whole point.
Yeah,
At
with
the end,
Samuel.
yes, he's very happy that he has accomplished his goal.
Which leads me to believe she fucking fucked this dude bareback.
Oh hell yeah! I mean, what you think? That
What do
they
you
had a
think?
couple?
Carrie?
Like,
Yeah.
She found this
We're in the middle
motherfucker
of
in a
nowhere.
Nebraska cornfield. I'm not raw
Yeah.
dogging this guy.
Oh, it's Nebraska. Come on. There's like
Yeah.
30,000 people in the whole state.
Are you fucking kidding me? No. Come
Low
on.
STD rate.
Yeah,
Low
I
STD
would be,
rating.
I would be more curious as to why she was like, "Can you just pull out?" Like, damn, like full
It's a
on.
great point.
Full
Well,
on.
they were in an awkward position though because they had
That's true.
the barnyard planks
Yeah.
between them, so he might have been stuck.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
he might have had to complete.
When have you ever felt
it's-
stuck having sex?
I
What, it's
I don't know.
it's gripping you like a vice? It's like a fucking Chinese finger trap.
I don't know. In that situation, though, it's sort of like I don't know if I'd want to like splooge on a plank in a barnyard. So I mean,
Also,
it's-
remember he has.
I would, whatever. Just leave it behind.
Listen, we also didn't mention that this gentleman, Gabriel, has supernatural powers. So
Yeah.
could have just, mind warped.
I'm
her
so
into
sick of
staying-
telekinesis.
I know. It keeps coming back in these things, man.
I feel like every other movie. I feel like Stephen King is obsessed with fucking telekinesis.
He loves it, Firestarter. He loves
It's
it.
like his go-to if he can't come up with like a new power. He just gives him
Yeah.
telekinesis. Carrie had it too.
Yep, I was just gonna say, Carrie. A lot of them do. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we get this strange climax, right?
Yeah, you do.
Inside.
Where Eli, Jesus Christ,
Isaac?
Isaac. I love Isaac screwed it up. I've screwed it up, and it's literally the whole reason for this show.
Isaac, what's the best Isaac in pop culture?
Oh, you
Isaac Newton.
No. I mean like a
Oh,
character
okay,
name
sure.
like this.
I know.
Oh God.
Wasn't
Boy.
like the I want to
There
say
aren't
like
that
the
many.
bartender on board the Love Boat was named Isaac?
That's right. The African American fellow.
Yes, the African American fellow.
Yes. Isaac was also Woody Allen's character in Manhattan.
Great. You could be that guy.
Eh.
What?
don't
He
wanna
got
be
to
that
he
guy.
got to bone a 17-year-old. What was that actress's name?
Ernest Hemingway's granddaughter.
Mariel Hemingway.
Daniel?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's Ernest Hemingway's granddaughter?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
She looks. No, she looks like him too. If you look at their features, it's very similar.
I gotta
looking.
tell you, I have not really examined Ernest Hemingway's features.
You don't have to examine it. You can just, have a passing knowledge of what Ernest Hemingway looks
Well,
like.
I don't have one.
I know.
Fuck
It's-
you, dude.
listen.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a delight. All
It
right.
is right. I love having Isaac on. This is great.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if the ladies do. Isaac and I know each other too, so I don't know if we all
Yeah.
worked together back in the day. I don't know if anyone cares. No one gives a shit, but yeah.
we worked at
Yeah.
the BN at the Barnes
Yeah.
Noble. Isaac was a cash lead.
Right.
He would
Don't you
count
forget it.
registers and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he would
Yeah,
try and put me at cash registers, not next to people I've boned. That was you helped with that.
Yeah, I've helped you out in many ways at that establishment.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I had your back.
I appreciate it. I had yours, buddy.
Love it. Love it.
Lot
All
of
right.
love on this set.
Oh, speaking of, I have some BN gossip for you, Isaac, for after the show.
All right. Please do clue me in.
Okay. So what they end up in sort of a barn at the end of the movie because there's only so many places you could put the characters in these movies. We're always in a fucking barn or a cornfield. It sucks.
Yeah, and Isaac and Gabriel have some sort of clash, which is very, very quick and extremely unclear and unexplained as to really what's going on here. I mean,
I think it's a power
Escalated
struggle.
really quickly.
it is a power struggle, but Isaac's had 19 years to be in an energy beast coma to sort of figure out when he returns.
Yeah.
666, by the way, bearing nothing in relation to the movie.
No, Children of the
whatsoever.
Corn doesn't even have anything to do with like satanic shit.
No.
It's
So
not like
they
he
come
who
back
walks
and you-
behind the rose is Satan. That would make sense, I guess.
Right. But I mean, Isaac is a very short-sighted and short individual.
Nice.
Thank you. But he can't see Malachi coming for him in the first one. He can't see Gabriel coming for him in this one. He's not a great arch villain. He's not the sharpest.
Henry, this is a 12-year-old boy. He's been in a coma for 19 years, but he still has the mentality of a 12-year-old.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
That's a good point. Yeah.
He hasn't wizened in his time in the police/hospital/asylum/coma unit. Yeah.
No, he's just been having very corny dreams for the last 19 years.
Just being stalked by a bunch of people.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to give you the Korn update. In 1999, they released their fourth album, Issues. It had 4 different covers, and I'd like to thank my mom publicly for the day it came out, on her way home from work, stopping at Nobody Beats the Wiz and buying me that album.
I was hoping it would be a Nobody Beats the Wiz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That had such
Fucking
class.
good.
Yeah, I agree. It had Falling Away From Me, which debuted on an episode of South Park. It had what are the other hits on that album? Isaac,
Don't ask me.
you were never a Korn guy.
I mean, aside from like the singles, yeah, but I never like ventured out to buy their albums.
What was your
Good for
favorite
you.
Korn album? I mean, song.
I don't even have one. I never even liked them all that much. I was way more of a Limp Bizkit guy.
You were?
Yeah.
What's your favorite Limp Bizkit song?
Now you know y'all be loving this shit right here. L-I-M-P Biscuit in this shit right here.
Pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Is Significant Other the best Limp Bizkit album?
You know what? Just for the purposes of ending this conversation, sure.
Thank you.
You're learning. You're learning, son.
No, it's true. I had more, but he stopped it.
Yeah, good. He's good.
All right. So there's like a couple who's hanging around this movie, and one of them offers herself up to the He Who Walks Behind the Rose for like a bisection, and he like cuts her in half. That was
Again,
a cool
no
scene.
attention paid to anatomy in this one either.
It's
I don't remember that.
No, it was
Why?
good. You don't remember? She looks sort of like Shawnee Smith, who's like Ted Danson's secretary in Becker.
Sure. Describe the sequence. I don't remember this.
She
Offers up for a bicycle.
Yeah, she gets like cut in half. Like he's like, I need to kill one of you motherfuckers, and she's like, I will. He who walks behind the rose, and he cuts her in half.
She was the girl from the hotel. I think I used the word hotel loosely.
Yeah,
here.
motel.
Yeah.
I would probably.
Okay, vaguely. I don't know. All right, there aren't a lot of good kills. That's another disappointment.
Well, that's true of all of these movies.
Yeah, not since the water pipe to the head where her mouth.
Oh
becomes a
my
spout.
God, you're right. That's the best kill we've had in this whole franchise.
Yeah, and Isaac, there's a kill where a woman gets knocked against a water pipe, and she turns the camera. Her mouth opens as she's dying, and the water diverts through the pipe and comes out of her mouth,
Sort of like a
the
spout.
pasta.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty good.
it's good
That's
stuff.
actually pretty badass.
All right, what happens? There's another Buffy actor. Sorry. He's the boyfriend, and he was of course, in season 3, episode 4. He is sort of a Jekyll and Hyde situation, and he commits suicide. He's got a sickle, and he puts it on the ground, sort of turned up. And he leans forward, sort of like a trust fall, and he drops his body on it and fucking impales himself.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
pretty baller.
That was a good death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a
Yeah.
suicide.
Right.
And he's listening.
What's the difference?
He's listening to some killer metal during that sequence too.
What a weird thing. That was weird, right?
Yeah, there's not a
That
lot
happened
of
a few
music on the
times.
soundtrack other than like really generic score shit. But for some reason, they popped a song in that scene.
Yeah, there was the same sort of song came in earlier in the movie too, where it was like this weird kind of nondescript new metal from obviously
It's not
the
new
era.
metal, I don't think. Like it didn't sound super rap rocky, but it
No,
sounded like.
it wasn't rap rocky,
But it was like one of these shitty bands from the time that probably had a few hits. I want to
Yeah.
say maybe Saliva, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a name.
Great group. Yeah,
That was a
yeah.
band.
That was a
It
name.
was. It was.
Maybe Tonic. No, they weren't metally. They were just shitty. Whatever. So then Gabriel makes the cop that I like shoot herself. I liked that
Yes.
moment. He goes,
Yeah, he walked
he goes
down the hall.
bang, and then she shoots herself. Once this guy turns evil, he's fine. He's just a shitty actor, this Popovich kid, because the heel turn has to be a surprise.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
whole movie, he's just like, who's this smarmy douche?
I mean, the
Well-
levitation aspect of the whole thing was kind of a nice little surprise, I think.
I mean,
It's like, oh shit, this motherfucker floats.
I know,
just-
but it's
I
like
love
for the first
the,
half of the movie, I just thought he was like a date rapist, and then I was like, oh, so he's not a date rapist; he's an evil god. Like six
Yeah.
of one, half a dozen of the other, frankly. And I did like him
Don't-
flying into the air, though. There was something fucking demonic about
Well,
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he started laying down all these like quippy lines all of a sudden. Like I did not expect
yes.
that. I did not expect
Well-
him to be so quick on his feet.
One of those things that I always love in some of these movies, especially one like this, is when he displays powers. he has the telekinesis going for him. He's making Cora shoot herself, you know. He floats up into the air, and then he is immediately vulnerable to just being stabbed. Like he walks right into his death. You know, I love that stuff in the movies where the supernatural just can only go so
No.
far.
But he comes back to life.
He
See,
does.
I had the
but-
same thought. She like starts to gut the fuck out of him. It's pretty brutal,
Yeah.
actually.
Well,
And-
he follows it through. He's pushing it down for her.
Oh, I didn't even
Yeah.
realize that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
but
like,
then he
"Go
comes
ahead,"
back
yeah.
instantly.
Yeah. But you know, the powers. If you could float above the wall, I would think you. I mean, he's kind of done right there. You know, he could have gone all Linda Blair.
He
and
who
shown-
floats above the wall.
He who floats in the barn. Yeah. He who copulates through the planks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he's just kind of done like that. That was his display of power.
But the fact that he who walks behind the rose, who's the villain we've been hearing about for 5 movies. He shows up in this movie, and then the movie ends with him alive. Like, to me, that's a huge fucking plot point. Like, that's like the end of the new Jurassic Park movie where like all the dinosaurs are like infesting the planet. Like, surely if 7 does not follow up on this, I'm gonna be miserable. I'm gonna be so angry, and I know this actor's not in it.
Right. I had to take the opinion that when they say, you know, I thought you were he who, you know, who is he who walks behind the rose, and he says me. I'm thinking you're just another manifestation. You can't really be that's not you. I mean, some leathered out James Dean sort of ripoff. You can't be our famous He Who Walks Behind the Rose. It can't be him.
But we don't
You
know
know,
anything about He Who Walks Behind the Rose. Maybe he's like a 50s greaser who's been resurrected. Maybe he's like a 50s greaser who like got in a rumble with somebody and he's like, if you strike me down, then you will know my true power. And he comes back as He Who Walks Behind the Rose.
And is getting into some trouble outside the sock hop.
Yeah, that's right, man. He's like,
he's one of Biff's crew and
I'm putting down this chocolate malted right now, and I'm gonna fucking hit you with a chain.
I will return 7 states away 40 years later in some sort of agricultural demonic force.
Yeah. All right, so that's that movie. What do you give this one? Let's start with Isaac, I guess.
Isaac's return.
Yeah. I mean, there is no like. I mean, I guess Hannah was kind of cute, but she's no Eva Mendes.
I think she was okay. Actually, I looked up the actress, figuring she had a career after this, and she really didn't.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just given the really really shitty taste in my mouth at 5 left, I was not. I wouldn't say pleasantly surprised, but I expected a lot worse. And also, it's got my fucking name on it, so I'll give it 2 stars.
It felt a little more like a real movie than the last one. I'll go with 2 as well.
I agree with both of you on all those points. It is therefore also getting a 1.
Who's your MVP?
Nancy Allen.
Yeah, she was a little overwrought, I thought.
She was very, very overwrought. I just didn't have much to cling to here, but it's always a pleasure to see her. A little sad, frankly, to see her in this a year after she was in Out of Sight, but
oh yeah,
that's okay. And my LVP, you know, it's mainly because I'm disappointed that he had 16 years to write himself a nice role here with his flagship character. I'm going to go with Isaac. You know, he was fun to watch again, but
I considered him too. Frankly, he's 40 now. He's not interesting looking. He's got a voice that's like a little on the whiny side. I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, but
it's like
it's a piece of shit.
In the first movie, he was so punchable, and that was what was compelling about him. In this movie, I just don't fucking care.
Well, he's not threatening at all in this movie. In the first one, we go into it and we're kind of like, Ooh, this is fucking weird. A new universe for the two of us. Like, what is this we're entering here with this weird, creepy kid? Now it's just like, Jesus, man, what an anticlimactic return,
Yeah,
6 movies.
Were there people? Do you think there were people that were excited when this movie was announced? Like like they
Absolutely.
announced the title, it came out in the trades,
Absolutely.
like they're making Children of the Corn, Isaac's Return. Were there horror nerds on the internet going, wait, hold the phone here? They're bringing back Isaac?
Well, like,
There's
what
no
was the
doubt.
After Children of the Corn 4, I said I'd never watch another one, but now if Isaac's returning, I'm coming back to the franchise.
There's no doubt in my mind, man. He's the Kane Hodder of the Children of the Corn series.
No, Kane Hodder's the Kane Hodder of the Children of the Corn series.
Kane Hodder's the Kane Hodder of every series
Yeah.
we cover that has horror in it.
I'm going to say that my MVP was the main girl, Natalie Ramsey, who played Hannah. I thought she was perfectly fine. And my LVP is going to be Paul Popowich, actually, not Popovich.
Oh, so not Papa.
Yeah, who played Gabriel, a.k.a. He Who Walks Behind the Rose.
Yeah, I think. Look, as much as I wanted to be super self-serving and go with Isaac as my MVP, I just don't think I could bring myself to do that. I
think Isaac was the MVP of the franchise. Of
That
the
he was. That he
podcast,
was.
huh?
That he was.
Hit me up
That's-
at Isaac Lopez on Twitter, people.
We'll get to
no.
the plugs.
Hold your barnyard, Isaac. Hold the barn.
I hold my cornfield rather.
Jesus.
No, I'm gonna go with Isaac as my LVP just because I was extremely disappointed. Like the dude's like, he absolutely wanted to have the Napoleon complex thing going for him, and I just wasn't buying it. MVP though, you know what? I'm gonna go with the Keach as the doctor.
Keith, sure. I thought you were going to go Eva Mendes again.
Yeah.
The memory of Eva Mendes lingered over.
Carrying him through.
Man.
All right. What great stuff. Hey, Henry, I forgot to give our patrons' opinions.
Okay.
Yeah, Kyle Padavano, he's been giving me his MVP and LVP for these movies. He's watching along with us. He says, Fields of Terror, MVP Alexis Arquette, LVP, he can't decide between Adam Wiley, who he calls the shitty corn kid, and David, and David Carradine, who clearly sat down and did all his scenes in like an hour. Yes, that's 100% true, but it's still a better performance in an hour than any of the other fuckers gave in 3 weeks or whatever it was.
Agreed. Yeah.
Isaac's Return, MVP, Paul Popowich as Gabriel. I don't know why, but I feel he played the role perfectly. I mean, I guess maybe after the heel turn, but come on. LVP, John Franklin for writing this POS. Great.
Whoa, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Oh, Kyle, all right. On the same page for our LVPs this week, at least.
You are. All right, so
I have a ranking so far. Can I give my ranking so far?
I'd love to hear it.
Number 1, Children of the Corn 1.
That's the best?
Yes.
That's ridiculous. Go ahead.
I agree. Number 2, Children of the Corn 3, Urban Harvest.
Okay.
Number 3, Children of the Corn 2. Was that the final sacrifice?
It certainly was.
Okay. Number 4, Children of the Corn 4, whatever that was called.
I don't remember.
The reconvening
The
of the
Gathering, yeah.
Okay. And number 5, the 6th one, and number 6, the 5th one.
Here's the proper ranking. Number 1, Urban Harvest, of course. Number 2, The Final Sacrifice. Number 3, Isaac's Return. Number 4, Fields of Terror. Number 5, the original. And number 6, The Gathering of the Juggalos.
Okay.
It'd be higher if it was that.
So that's proper ranking.
That's the proper ranking.
I'm making a note.
Okay. Yeah,
Proper
yeah.
ranking. All right.
Remember that.
I will.
What
else
a
did any
pleasure
listeners
it-
have to say?
I don't care. What a pleasure it was to have Isaac on the podcast. Now you can give your plugs.
I'm at not Isaac Lopez on Twitter and the Gram. Feel free to hit me up on either one. You'll be disappointed.
Slide into the DMs.
But damn right. But yeah, no, this was great. Thank you guys for having me on. Looking forward to seeing
That's it?
y'all in
That's the only plug?
2023. Yeah, I don't have anything to promote right now, I guess.
Your face fine. He's fine.
Isaac, if you could come back on the show for any franchise, what would it be?
Oh man, see, you can't put me on the spot like that. You gotta
Get back to
You
me
know
on
what?
Twitter
You
and
know
I'll
what?
like retweet
Yeah.
it or something.
I'll tweet it out. Y'all will see it. So now y'all kind of have to.
I like that. That's good. And then we can have you back in 2023. So we keep the 3-year gap thing going.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay. 5-star rating or review on iTunes, please. Not a 1-star. We got one from some guy, right? Do you have that pulled up?
It's good stuff.
Henry, that was a question directed at you.
I'm aware, and I had thought I screenshotted it, which I did, and then I got rid of it. Here we go. We got 2 reviews, and they're both from the United States, and that's nice. The 1-star review is called Woke and Racist.
Yeah, and the text of it only says, good job.
Great job.
Great job, okay.
Great job.
I believe they call that alt woke on the internet.
Well, here's my 2 theories about what this guy could be talking about. It's either that one of us is too racist, probably me, and one of us is too woke, probably me. No, I think it would be like one of the two. Like maybe he heard Henry do a black guy voice or something and decided he was racist, and then I said something about trans people that made me sound woke. Or the other theory is that he thinks like we're so woke and we're being racist towards white people or something.
That would be great. I would love. You're giving him a lot of credit with that theory, though.
That's not giving him credit at all. That's half the people on the internet.
Yeah, but I agree with. I think it's someone who just isn't really any sort of regular listener. Probably heard one of our shows where I'm doing maybe a voice. Maybe you were being ironic, kind of like that one we got around the Star Wars time.
Yeah, I remember.
When we were actually making fun of George Lucas's George Lucas's terrible treatment of Asian people. And they didn't understand that's what we were doing. So I tend to think that whoever wrote this is sort of a moronic kind of troglodyte, level of person. Thank you. And then our 5-star rating is very nice. My favorite podcast with an exclamation point.
That's ridiculous. Listen, I gotta say thank you. But like there are better podcasts. Like we're good. I'm not being like humble. We're a great podcast, but there's got to be like 3 or 4 better than us.
He said it's his favorite.
All
What's
right.
wrong with?
Thank
he didn't say the greatest. Yeah, he didn't say the greatest podcast.
Right.
Which I would take too. But he said my favorite podcast.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah. Let the guy have his.
What's his name?
Right. His name is Joshua. I pronounced the U's correctly. It's Joshua 876. And he says, I wait on this show every week. I love it. The hosts are hilariously funny. Recommend it ever and always. And I'd pay the $100 to have Henry watch all the Studio Ghibli films.
I've already vetoed it. It's not a franchise.
Yeah, I would have been down Joshua 666, but, it's okay.
666? Like this movie?
Nah, 6 something.
Oh, okay.
But I did have one superhero. I have to say.
Right. Fuck. Go ahead.
Stacy Keach. Stacy Keach played in a movie that we covered. He played Carl Beaumont, the voice of the Phantasm in Batman: Mask of the Phantasm.
Holy shit, that's a major one.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He also played the character Wallenquist in Sin City: A Dame to Kill For. And he played the character of Vance in Batman Beyond. That's right. That's it. That's what I got.
All right. Look, follow us on all the shit. Twitter @PodFranchise, @LowStakesDaniel, thefranchisepod@gmail.com for emails, HenryFranchise@Outlook.com. We are on Letterboxd now. You could find me under my name, Daniel Ehrenberg, and you could find Henry, of course, under his X-Men fan account, Hank Beast. And
Right.
what a great time recording this episode, Isaac. Next, I ran out of things to say for a second. Next up on the show, we've got Children of the Corn's 7 and 8. And, of course, I refer to Children of the Corn 7 Revelation, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And then the eighth one is a TV movie remake of the original movie.
I'm looking forward to that, man. We're entering the 2000s now, so Children of the Corn Revelation, we have a freaky looking girl in sort of a puritanical Amish outfit on the cover.
Right, that's
And
2001.
Right, and the tagline is the all new terror filled chapter. So that's exciting. And then we get 2009, and I love this because it says Children of the Corn, based on a short story by Stephen King. So is this going to be, Dan? Is this going to be The Shining?
It is. I'm aware of this. This is like The Shining, where we're going to do a straight miniseries. Not miniseries. I mean, The Shining was with Steven Weber, but this is like a straight adaptation of the original short story. And apparently, I remember the Sci-Fi Channel actually got in touch with Stephen King and asked him, like, so what wasn't in the original movie that you want? Like, what were the changes that you would have made? And Stephen King was just like, I don't want anything to do with this.